How's it going, everyone? It's Liam Carriston here. It's time for another episode of The Vampire Diaries with episode 2 of season 4. So yeah, it got off, of course, to a very, I guess, dramatic start after the dramatic ending of season 3. It felt like it was going to go one way, really, in terms of what was going to happen with Elena, with her being in transition into turning into a vampire. Of course, she was not going to die in the beginning of, season 4. Of course, we did have an attempt to find a third door, but alas, it was not going to happen, especially with Klaus, who's back into his original body, trying to, call the shots and all of that. I mean, Bonnie was warned by her grandmother not to dabble into this kind of area, especially with dark magic and all of that. And then, Klaus forced her hand, and it will be very interesting to see where her story's going to go this season. But will be very interesting to see where Elena's story does go with, of course, now her adjusting to being a vampire. It's obviously a game changer, and I'll be very excited to see what they do with this season. So with that said, it's time for the second episode of season 4 for the Vampire Diaries. Let's go. Oh, hello! They spent the night together!
You're making a big mistake.
No, I'm not. If I can get Elena used to animal blood right out the gate. You're reaching.
Oh.
Maybe she'll be able to break before she shuts off her humanity switch.
It happens to the best of us at least once. We get over it, Stefan. 100 years or so.
Yeah, but he's not damning Elena for that.
She can't learn to control the bloodlust.
He wants Elena to thrive.
It's like giving a kid a calculator before they know math. I said stop. The proverbial band-aid and let it bleed. You're a vampire, Elena. Be a vampire.
There you go.
What does Elena want to do?
It's part of the natural food pyramid.
Circle of non-life?
Smell. Sight. Touch.
Very seductive. Jeez. Oh. Everything is heightened, especially the intensity here. Elena was gonna jump him there. It's like that moment of, like, that brief moment of, like, passion and all of that, and then it's like you've ate so much and you're gonna puke, isn't it? Like, you can't help but, like, I don't know, it's a stupid comparison, but it's like all of this lovely stuff at a buffet and all of that. It's like, I can't not eat it.
More of a independent contractor. Can we speak in private?
Sure.
Thanks.
Nice to meet you too, Mr. Busybody guy.
Yeah, he just completely ignored David.
So what are these?
New face in Mystic Falls. Get to know the people. Don't just blow them off.
April? Oh, you look great. You remember April? Elena used to
babysit you. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, before I got shipped off to boarding school by my dad.
Your dad.
Oh.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry about your dad.
Oh, shit. Pastor Young's kiddo, he did make a mention.
Don't know how to end.
Yeah, because you're here and you're alive-ish.
Yeah.
And you're gonna get through this.
It's a one step at a time process. I mean, she might
Would you like to do the honors?
barf up a couple of times, but
Okay, personal.
Just drink.
understandably she's going to be skeptical, but it's intoxicating, isn't it? It's just like having a quiche at a party. Don't know how anyone else feels about quiches, but for me...
Is there something I could help you with? Maybe. How you doing? I'm Connor.
That's a tight grip. Oh! Oh my god! What the fuck? Is that glove lace? What? Yo! Oh damn! He's swift, especially with the gloves and.
Until 2 days ago. Even still.
Remember the good things. Hey, that's all you can really do, poor Abe. I gotta say, for Nina, like with the couple of times she's been puking up blood in this episode, and I'm expecting a couple of times more. It must have been like. I mean, it must have been just very, very.
I know you're in there. I can hear you breathing.
Don't offer the hat. Don't.
We have not met. I'm Connor. Jordan.
Damon. Germaphobe. Everything okay in there?
That took so long.
No problem.
Well, enjoy your stay. We love visitors, and the scenery is to die for. Pheno pun. Too soon.
You
Sorry.
dickhead. Wow. Wow. Oh my god. What?
Anyway, Stefan, so the faster we can make it happen, the sooner we can get her back on track.
She's strong. If we help her, she can survive.
She's starving.
There is such a hope
She's
for
been able to keep blood
Stefan.
down for days.
What are you talking about? She told me she was fine.
Well, then she lied. Your four-legged protein shake was a bust. The juice box was a no-go. She can't even keep my blood down.
She drank from you?
Oh
Oops.
boy.
Did I say that out loud?
Oh boy. Oh boy! Yeah, it's the only way, isn't it? That's it. You can't suspect her. The light is shining on her. The sunlight. Ah, keep your cover.
Don't know why, that
Nice.
always makes me smile.
This.
Blood.
Yeah. Yo. Wow.
Don't turn around. It's a trap.
Wow, you dick. Oh.
I got you.
Yeah, just that's it. You gotta chalk it up. Yeah, that's what put a botch in his plans, but you could just
42 in your hymn book. Let us join
just
together.
chalk it down to the emotion was, you know, too much for her, right? Oh man.
Everyone will think you're upset. Just feed from me.
That's it, and that's, you know, like it backs up with Stefan escorting her off the stage. Can't verify for certain, that's the thing. Oh man, that was audacious, but it speaks a lot with what he's going on for him.
Didn't care much about anything that didn't affect me. But he was the one who made me understand how important it is to be part of a team, a community, of giving yourself up for the sake of it.
Ow. The way you said ow, that like, ow. Oh.
What the hell was that for? You know what?
Well,
You can make her forget all of this.
this is compulsion.
No, I can't, Caroline. You have to do it. No, the only way you're gonna learn is if you do it yourself. No, I can't.
You're gonna
I
have to try.
I'm gonna help you. I promise. I'm gonna be okay. You're gonna help me.
Good on Elena! And good on Caroline!
Overboard.
Oh no, he's gonna be targeting Elena.
Nice ink.
Hello?
What ink?
You're mad.
Yeah, I'm mad. You lied to me.
I didn't lie. I just didn't tell you.
Come on.
Like, you
Lena,
haven't lied to her
me.
before.
You were just
I know
so
this is a
happy
pretty
that things were
important-
going well,
yeah.
and
You think I'm happy?
I just. Do you want to know what's heightened? It's grief. I can't stop feeling everyone's grief. All the hurt.
God, she cares
it's
so
trying to
much,
explode out of
and
me.
For my Uncle Zach? For my friend Lexi? For a lark?
oh, that's it. Is Damon not gonna like? Is he gonna shut off remembering?
Anna? Jenna?
This is getting me. No.
And a lark.
Oh, beautiful.
No way. I'm not doing that.
Oh, jeez, this is.
You know what they are? Children. Like lighting a candle is gonna make everything okay, or even saying a prayer, or pretending Elena is not gonna end up just like the rest of us, murderous vampires.
Oh, Damon.
The candle, every prayer is not gonna make up for the fact that the only thing that you have left is a hole in your life where that somebody that you cared about
No,
used to be.
no.
And a rock with a birth date carved into it that I'm pretty sure is wrong.
Oh, this is not.
Just stuck here fighting with my brother and taking care of the kids. You owe me big.
Oh, it's just there, but.
I miss you too, buddy.
Oh my god. Oh my god, I'm in a. That's 3 times out of the last 5 episodes I've cried. Yeah. I mean, when you reflect about this episode, and of course it really does hit with the memorial bit at the end, for not just, of course, Damon, but also everyone mourning those they've lost. This episode really is depressing, and it really is sad. And not even just remembering those who are lost, but also it's, you know, really, really sad for Elena having to struggle with trying to battle the vampiric side of her. I mean, obviously, it was always going to be a very fascinating journey when it came to Elena trying to contend with how she feeds and all of that, because of course there is always going to be this debate, like, between Stefan and Damon. No, she should do this, she should do that, and now we're bringing this completely intriguing side about the prospect that, well, maybe because of the fact that she's a doppelganger, maybe the rules are a bit different this time around. So, and we're just seeing, I mean, for Nia, like I said, I'm sure the amount of time she's had to bath up the blood, because obviously it's not real blood, that would be concerning, but the amount of time she's had to bath up the blood and all of that, especially with the fact that it's not going to be one takes, is it? It must have been just kind of annoying and all of that. Because it wasn't just the one time in this episode, though, and it did tackle the issues on Elena and how she's handling the whole blood situation. Animals are not doing it. The donated bagged blood, they're not doing it. Not even, the whole situation with Damon. Even though it worked for him, because he got a bit aroused, didn't he? That Damon fed off her and off him, should I say? And yeah. So. And yeah, of course, it's gonna be a very, very argumentative subject, isn't it? Especially if Stefan does find out that Damon, fed her blood and all of that. But it's gonna continue the law of Damon trying to get Elena at the end of the day. But yeah. And of course, with Elena having to fabricate some stuff, of course that was going to be the subject. She doesn't want to disappoint Stefan, especially with the fact that Stefan is so adamant against Damon's suggestion when that worked ultimately. And, Stefan wants to put Elena on the right track. She doesn't want... he doesn't want her to go off the rails. He wants to make sure that Elena's adjustment to the vampiric side does not cause any kind of kerfuffles, because we've seen with Caroline, we've seen, as pointed out, there are going to be spells, and you don't want that on your conscience, especially with Elena. So he's trying to do the right thing, but sadly, it seems like it's just going to have to be a nip at the neck, really. So, and I found it very, very powerful when it came to Matt as well, offering himself, not only because the stakes were high in that moment, but also for Matt, he's doing as much as possible to help Elena out. I was just reflecting when he volunteered. I was just reflecting on the fact that, well, this is with Matt. He's still got a guilty conscience in regards to what has become of Elena, and he feels like he's got that survivor's guilt to him. So he's going to make sure that he does everything and anything in his power to make it up to Elena, even though that Elena is not going to fault him whatsoever. Again, survivor's guilt for Matt. And only Matt can share that because, of course, survivor's guilt is, usually when you do feel guilty about surviving and all of that. Elena obviously doesn't, but Matt thinks differently. So, yeah. So I felt like that was a very sacrificial role for Matt, not just, it wasn't just very important to also to tackle what's weighing on his mind, but also it kind of quells the whole situation down a bit, although that's not going to stop Connor. So yeah. But yeah, I mean, Connor, very intriguing. Like I said, I mean, I didn't say that, but Connor is very intriguing. Yeah, he takes no shit whatsoever. So, and then of course when Tyler suffered, because of the fact that his gloves were laced with the vein, it was just escalating from there. Now, when he did arrive, of course, you were wondering, is this, Pastor Young's, instructions or all of that when it came to, like, him low-key hiring Connor? Because the letter was for his daughter, but he's a new guy that strolled into town. You don't know what to make of him, and in regards to is he gonna be an issue, which seems like he is. But it's going to be very, very interesting to follow his story, because, of course, there are some things like the ink on his arm that only Jack can say, which I'm assuming is related to death, because of the fact that Jeremy could only see it. And of course, there is that tie to the other side of things. So it's very intriguing. But, just Connor's character in general is just very interesting, especially with how he is not a character you want to mess with. He is a character that is ruthless, very, very tactical. And yeah, he definitely did create a very, very well executed intensity when it came to the funeral. Because I was just, thinking, obviously when it came to April and how he, stabbed, I was thinking, how are you just assuming that she's a vampire and all of that? But it wasn't the point. It was she was the bait, really. So, and you just felt so bad for her there, like just being used as bait to try draw out the vampires. So it was cleverly done, rather than him just recklessly thinking, okay, well, you're a vampire because there is something off about you. And the way that the blood trickled into the holy water and all of that was well done. Because everyone who was on Team V, I guess, they've heard that they're hearing that they're being tempted, not just in terms of hearing, but also the intoxication of the blood. And all it takes is one person to flinch, and Damon was ready to, but I also really look. It was just the whole intensity as well, because Elena was on the stand, and obviously especially with the fact that she is still new into this gig. She was cracking like an egg, and I love how you could just chalk it up to, like, well, of course, Stefan's saving her for, things just spiraling out of control, because those bullets, as well, as mentioned, they can kill ordinary vamps. But Tyler was very fortunate that he's a hybrid, so Elena would be absolutely dead. But I did like the fact that, with Stefan not just saving her skin, you could just chalk it up to, like, the emotions are just getting to her. And it really, really does tie in well with the whole ending part of this episode. So, but it also really, really works as a great crutch for Connor, because he's like, I don't know what to do. Is this like, is this them pulling the wool over my eyes and all of that? And then when he sees Tyler, he's like, gotcha. So yeah, poor Tyler for these last few episodes. I mean, first Klaus is just living rent free in his head, literally, and he gets shot not just once but twice this episode by Connor. So already an arch nemesis there. But I really, really loved the intensity of that scene with Elena try to fight off the blood urges, try to give a speech. So yeah, and I do like April's character. So I think she's going to be sticking around for some time, especially since she has ties to, Pastor Young. I really did love the fact that Caroline, like when we had that moment where Elena, I guess, first compelled someone, we had Caroline not just helping, out April, but also Elena as well. I mean, Caroline's been through this 2 seasons ago. And I really love how much of an expert she is. I feel like, if anything, she's helped. It might be a controversial thing to say. I don't think it is. But I feel like out of her, Stefan, and Damon, she helped the most. Especially because Elena was losing it. She saw April caked in blood. It was so tempting. And Caroline intervened. Not just that, though, but she gave Elena. Elena wasn't one for the confidence in herself with the compulsion, and you had Caroline coach her on, and that was really, really well done. And not just that though, but I think with Caroline, she is definitely the heart of the show. So, but of course, when it comes to Stefan and Damon in terms of trying to assist Elena, like I said, I mean, with Damon, he wasn't exactly being very helpful in regards to, well, not just enjoying Elena taking a sip from him, but also we had Stefan and Damon just going back and forth in regards to what is best for Elena, and she's just in the middle of this with both brothers arguing. And, you know, it forced Elena to lie to Stefan. Yeah, and yeah, it's just a whole big mess, isn't it? So, yeah, but I really, really liked that. But, you know, how Caroline just saved her. So, but yeah, like I said, the whole memorial bit was just really, really well done. Like I said, though, in the beginning portion of these thoughts, with how the final 5 minutes went down, you really reflect on this episode, not just of course with the memorial service, but Bonnie as well. And I really loved how Stefan comforted her as well, especially since, you know, Bonnie for these last couple of seasons has been iffy when it comes to both self-taught brothers for understandable reasons, but she's just had to witness her grandma essentially die again, and she's just in a bit of a difficult place at the minute. So, you know, I just feel so bad for Bonnie. But yeah, those final 5 minutes were just powerful. 5 episodes, and I've cried like in a row 3 times. And it's so funny because you just reflect to the other vampire show that I've done, and that's very notable. And I remember, I think it was like a string of episodes, and I cried. Like there was, I was crying a few times during like a specific number of episodes, and here we are again. But the thing is, with that memorial bit with everyone bar Damon, because we'll get to that in a moment, it was just really powerful. And, you know, Elena, you can't really blame her for wanting to, you know, have that moment to reflect, especially when you consider vampires. They do cheat death, but they are also surrounded by it as well. And with Mystic Falls, we've lost a lot of people, and you do want to grab a hold of that humanity, especially with Elena. She wants to still grab a hold of that humanity while she's a vampire. But also, when it comes to the amount of death, it starts to become a very desensitized subject, isn't it, in terms of your feelings? Because there is so much death going around, and you suddenly become numb to the idea, and you just want to hold on to that humanity and stop and reflect and mourn about those who we've lost. So, and I mean, with Elena, while she's contending with these, you know, issues, trying to adjust to vampirism, I guess, and trying to maintain that humanity, this is a big step for her to retain that humanity, because she can stop and reflect on those who Mystic Falls have lost. So, and you know, it's just really, really beautifully done. So, and of course, with Damon taking off, I mean, I was just thinking, well, you know, surely you're just thinking about Alaric and all of that, and like even if you think this is a pointless thing, surely you've got to be thinking, because he was your best bud and he's just recently died. And then we got to that scene, and I mean, well, first off, I was not surprised, I guess, that Damon did take off to mourn on his own to Alaric. So, but I think the thing that just killed me was Alaric just being there. So, well, A, just seemed like Alaric is still going to be a key player even though he's dead. But B, yeah, It was just really, really powerful. And you can see that Damon has a different point of reflecting on you know, mourning someone. Because whereas everyone's doing this nice gesture and this like their type of memorial, Damon is not subscribing to that. Because he makes that mention about, you know, you can do this and all of that. It's not going to make up for the hole that's left in your heart, and that really does hit so much. I mean, yeah, some could see it as a very crude way of looking at things. Of course, it's on brand for Damon, I would say, but it really also speaks volumes about how much this is messing up Damon with the fact that Alaric's dead. So, and it was just really, really powerful stuff to just have that moment where Damon, you know, does miss him. So, yeah, it's just a temporary moment, and you know, with the fact that it is so painful to say goodbye to someone. Yeah, it's just not something that he just wants to digest, is it? So, and it was just really, really powerful. It was just heartbreaking. So, and it's just that case of him just, you know, wanting Alaric to listen, even though he doesn't know that Alaric's there. Alaric has to listen in his mind, because just imagining someone is gone is just a freaking depressing thought to have. So I can't, you know, it's not just on brand for Damon's character, but I also can't blame him for thinking about the fact that, well, someone has to be there, because, you know, just thinking someone is gone, you've got that whole sentiment gone but not forgotten. Just thinking of the idea that someone's gone is just a painful endeavor. So yeah, and it's just really, really yeah, it's just really, really powerful. It demonstrates the relationship between Alaric and Damon. So, but I like I said, I do get like that thoughts and all of that. Obviously, you don't have to agree with it, because what Elena and co are doing is a really, really nice gesture and a nice, you know, symbolism of, you know, reflecting and mourning and all of that to those they've lost. But for Damon, he has a bit of I guess, a darker way of looking at things, but it's filled with pain, because, you know, he can blow off the candle thing that they're doing, but it doesn't mean that he thinks that everyone mourning and all the whole concept of mourning is pointless, because you have him mourning for Alaric, but he also doesn't want to acknowledge that Alaric is gone, because yeah, and it's, you know, it's just I do like, it's like when someone dies, and you can't accept it. You just hope that, you know, especially if they've just died and all of that, and they mean so much to you, you don't acknowledge it, you don't accept it, you don't think that because you just hope that they walk through the door, that they that the idea of them dying is all just a part of some bad nightmare. So I can get why Damon is just, you know, shrugging that aside and just, you know, yeah. So it's very, very powerful stuff, but I really, really thought that this was a really touching episode. Because, like I said, I think the final 5 minutes really does put into perspective about how tragic this episode really is. Especially when you consider what you know, what the main characters are going through and how much they've lost, and yeah, so it's just really, really great stuff. But I really thought that this was a great episode, big time. So yeah, I will see you guys next time. Hope you guys enjoyed this reaction. Check my videos on the right if you want to check out more of my content. You can also subscribe to my BG feeds and channel if you want to. Hope you guys enjoyed this reaction. Hope you guys take care, and I'll see you guys next time.